Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel BBTechHub. In the previous video, I told you about how many bits are reserved per classes by IANA. And I also gave a brief description about the number system because of course it is true that IP is the game of numbers. How much we have a control over the numbers, that much good way we can learn the IP address. So you can see that every number system are having some concept that is called the base. And on the basis of this base, we can identify that number system. The same way, when IP address has been designed, it is nothing but is a binary number. So here in the IP address, we are dealing with nothing but the binary numbers. Okay. So in this video, I am going to describe you how IANA has reserved all these bits from every classes. So that's why I have mentioned over here in today's videos that IPv4 classes designed by IANA. So everyone, you see, if I go for each octet of the IP address, if we go, you can see what happens, actually what is happening. In case of octet, if I go for any octets and the basis of the binary, of course, base is 2. So 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the like that, we will go up to 2 to the power 7. And you can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bits. So if we add all those things, we will get it is nothing but 255. So binary is actually not a number, it is a notation. In binary, in general, what you say, what value we want to consider, put it as 1, and the value we do not want to consider, put it as 0. So in this full octet, if we don't want to consider a single digit, then we are putting it all as 0. Because what binary is saying? Binary is saying if you don't consider any values, then you just simply put on that area 0. And if you want to consider those values, then please put it as 1. So if we put all bits as 0, then it becomes decimal value is 0. And if we want to consider the every values, then we put it 111 and the value is coming as 255. So that's why previously also I told you 1 octet means 8 bits in binary and equivalent to 256 of decimal means 0 to 255. So IANA has also just the same thing over here, how they have manipulated the octets. In case of the first octet, what happened? IANA has told the first octet will be always reserved as 0. It cannot be 1. So that's why you see, if we put all the octet as 0, we are getting 0. And one day, every octet will be filled up because it will become 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 255. So one day, all octet will be 1. But what IANA has defined for the class A, the first bit of the first octet never be 1. It will remain always 0. And for your kind information, we call it as MSB, most significant bit, and this one is called as LSB, least significant bit. So for the class A, MSB always remain 0. And if you go to calculate the value C, if it is 1, it will be 255. But we are putting it as 0. That means we are 128 value is we are considering as 0. That's why we are minus it from 255. So we are getting 127. And this is the reason why class A range is 0 to 127. Come to the class B. you can see the same way in case of class B. What Ayana has told? Ayana has told that the first two bits cannot be 0. It will be considered reserved as 1, 0. That's why we say in case of class B, Ayana has reserved 2 bit as 1, 0. And every octet we start with 0 and every octet we end with the 1. But for these 2 bits, for class B, we never change it. It will always remain as 1, 0. So if it is 1, so that means which one number is highlighted? 128 highlighted. And if you have put over here 1, so it become 255. But हमने क्या किया? 64 position को 0 कर दिया. So here minus the 64 from 255. And what we are getting? 191. So this is the reason क्यों हम कहते हैं class B is 128 to 191. Come to class C. What happens in the case of the class C? In the class C, Ayana has told first 3 values must be reserved as 1, 1, 0. ये कभी भी 1, 1, 0 के बिना नहीं हो सकता है. And हम लोग जानते हैं every octet start with 0. But हमें 3 octet को मुझे 1, 1, 0 रखना पड़ेगा. And one day हर एक octet क्या हो जाएगा? Fill up हो जाएगा. Means it will become 1, 1, 1, 1. But Ayana क्या बोला? For class C, first these 3 bit will be always remain as 1, 1, 0. So now you see, यहाँ पे this is position only 2 are 1, 1. Which position is 1, 1? 128 and 64. अगर आप इसको add करेंगे, you will get the 192. And you see, if we put 1 over here, तो ये मेरा 255 बनता. But मैंने 32 position को क्या consider किया? 0. तो मैंने 32 को minus कर दिया. So what value I am getting? I am getting 223. यही reason है. This is the reason why class C is considered as 192 to 223. अब आ जाइए class D पे. If you come to the class D, so what Ayana has told? Ayana has told key for the class D, 4 first bit will be reserved as 1, 1, 1, 0. अब बहुत अच्छा सा देखिए, you see it carefully. Every octet start with 0, but what Ayana has told? Ayana has told this 4 bit will always remain as 1, 1, 1, 0. Now you see, एक दिन all octet will become 1, but Ayana, what Ayana told that you cannot change it. That is the reason, अगर आप देखिए, अगर हम इसको convert करते decimal में, what happens? These 3 are 1, means 128, 64 and 32. We will add, if we add, we get the value as 224. And what happens? You see, अगर मैं इसको 1 consider करती, it would become 255. But here, Ayana has considered this bit as 0. Which position? 0, 16. So we are minus it. So what value I am getting? 239. And this is the reason why class D is 224 to 239. Now come to the class E. In case of class E, what Ayana is saying? Ayana is saying the first 4 bits will reserve as 1, 1, 1, 1. It will never change. So you see, every octet start with 0. But Ayana has reserved this 4 bit as 1. And one day every octet will become 1. But Ayana has reserved it already 1. So now if we want to convert it into decimal, so you see these 4 are 1, means 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16 means what it is? 240. And you see the last octet, every bit becomes 1. That means it is 255. And this is the reason why class E is considered as 252, 255. And everyone, this is the reason what happens, why every classes has been defined like that. That is class A is for 0 to 127, B is 128 to 191, C is 192 to 223, D is 224 to 239. Sorry. And E is 240 to 255. And this is the real cause why 5 classes has been designated with those values. Okay, everyone. I think you all understood that IANA reserve bit. So in case of IANA reserve bit, the conclusion is that for class A, it is reserved 0. Class B, it is reserved 10. Class C, reserved as 110. For class D, it is reserved as 1110. And for E, it is reserved as 1111. That means this is 1 bit, this is 2 bits, this is 3 bits, this is 4 bits, and this is also 4 bits. Okay, everyone. I think your concept would be clear after following this video. Okay, so thank you. In the next video, I'm coming up with how many network exist per class and how many hosts exist per network per class. So thank you, everyone.